Okay, I'm in the process of refurbishing this V99 ProLoc unit. Okay, if you're just drawing water on yours, a lot of times one of these tubings have popped off the top. Okay, if you had no troubles and you just need to push it back down, take the cover off and put that back in there. If it's so gray, if it's so yellowed out and brittle, call me, text me, email, let me know, and I'll send you the replacement ones and you just replace it. This shelf has to always be tight, okay? And when you press the button presses here, but it also presses this valve here. So it presses both like that. That presses it both. And what that does is that relieves air out of here and allows the pressure chemical to come out from the bottle. All right. One of the other things why you might just get water and no chemical is if the bottle is not seated properly in here. And sometimes you just got to kind of jiggle it a little bit to get it seated so that, again, the green side is seated with this, it was seated properly on here. And this is an old bottle I have I'm using, but you can see how dirty it is, but that's the green side, and you can see there's a little lip there. So you need to kind of jiggle that, kind of just situated so it's seated on there properly. So usually when it's just drawing water, it's usually this is off. That's the number one reason, or you just don't have it centered right. And then rarely if there's been some kind of abuse and there's been some kind of button issue, if you look at the back here, you can see when you press the button, that right there pushes up against here and allows the chemical to come through. And if this has been dropped and you're missing this, or it's not in there properly, that might be an issue. That's rare though. The last issue is just this has quit working for you, or there's an item here. So that's why it's easier just to send it back to me if it's not this, and just send it back to me. The other thing is the bottle. And let's don't forget about the bottle. If your bottle is, I try to check every time before I send bottles out to you, the green side is always facing towards what I call the 3 o'clock side. If you look at it from straight down, the Parvo red side is always in the middle. The green's got to be at that 3 o'clock position, like on a clock. 12, 1, 2, 3. It needs to be, very close for that. If you get one like that, you can take a very small eyeglass screwdriver flathead and pop this off, and then turn around and put it back in. If your bottle is suctioning in, is concaving in, that means that, pull one of these out of here. That means that there's a little hole. There's a little hole. Let me see if I can, somewhere in here, you'll see a little slit in this ladder. And what happens is when the level of the chemical goes below that opening, like a slit, it will draw air in. And that's a bottle issue, not the machine issue. And you need to let me know about that so I can replace that bottle for you at no charge. Okay, so that's really how that works. Your shelf always has to be tight. Okay, you need to make sure that shelf is tight. I had this one on a bracket, so it helps push it in a little bit more. If you just did it with the 3 screws, that works as fine, works as well. So that's the basic issues, is why you might just be getting water and no chemical. All right, so one of the other things to do is, hold on. Okay, so one of the things you want to do is when you change the bottle out before you put the new bottle in, is go ahead and just flush it. And I've got the mop hoses just so I have wastewater. That's all I'm working with there. That's why I have it like this. Okay, so then once you do that, oops. Okay, so when you're putting a new bottle in, go ahead and prime it just with water first. Again, make sure you're seated properly. and then I'm gonna hit the green button, and you should see the green chemical coming out. Okay, so you should see that, and it's gonna slowly work its way back. The bubble is coming back in. That's what it's supposed to do. The parva level now, it comes out faster. Now I'm on the red side, and it's at parva level. And it's going to be faster because it's at 3.5 gallons per minute, whereas the green's only at 1 gallon per minute. That's part of the dilution system. Okay, so this is a long video. I hope we sped it up to make it easier to understand, but I wanted you to see the basics of how this works on the V99, the getting just water and no chemical. Remember, number one reason is usually this is popped off. So, okay, thank you.